untold stories of our ancestors call to us through the ancient sounds of our drum. If we choose to listen to our drum, we will discover the true rhythm of our past and be guided along life's journey.
Kwe, Amataru. Hello, my friends. I am Josh from the Wyandotte Nation, and I'm joined here by Jillian from the Wyandotte Vanderdawn. Our journey has brought us to Chief Roundhead and Tecumseh.
Shawnee War Chief Tecumseh, or commonly known as War Chief Tecumseh, was and still is well known among many people. One thing many people do not know is who he is considered, second in command, a close friend and a fellow warrior.
The man Tecumseh held in high regard was a Wyandotte chief by the name of Pushtiatok, or Bart Carrier, and commonly known today as Roundhead. Chief Roundhead was a strong member of Tecumseh's Confederacy and led major successful fights against the United States.
Chief Roundhead originally lived with the Ohio Wyandotte and became Principal Chief of Sandusky Wyandotte. Disagreeing with Chief Tarhe's pro-American stance after the Battle of Fallen Timbers, Chief Roundhead moved to the Wyandotte villages in Michigan.
Both Chief Roundhead and War Chief Tecumseh were strong advocates for the Prophet's teachings that emphasized getting rid of the white man's ways and not giving up more land to the United States.
War Chief Tecumseh was recruiting more warriors to join his effort to stop the United States' theft of native lands. One of Chief Roundhead's brothers, Chaturanya, or commonly known as Leatherlips, spoke in favor of siding with the Americans and was hurting War Chief Tecumseh's recruitment efforts. This was seen as treason to Chief Roundhead and War Chief Tecumseh.
Six Wyandotte warriors were sent to execute Leatherlips in June of 1810 for the crimes of witchcraft and treason. Leatherlips was indeed executed, sending a clear message to the Ohio Wyandotte of the position of Chief Roundhead and his support for War Chief Tecumseh's stance against the United States' westward expansion.
War Chief Tecumseh respected Chief Roundhead as a fellow warrior and trusted him as a leader. He considered Chief Roundhead one of his closest advisors. When British General Proctor gifted War Chief Tecumseh an officer's sash, he presented it to Chief Roundhead, claiming the sash should go to an older, more skillful warrior.
War Chief Tecumseh did not participate in the greatest victory of the Confederation against the United States in the War of 1812. Instead, Chief Roundhead commanded the native warriors at the Second Battle of the River Raisin and had the honor of presenting the American General Winchester to the British after the stunning defeat of the United States.
After the fall of the British Navy on Lake Erie, the British retreated from Fort Malden against the advice of War Chief Tecumseh and Chief Roundhead. The retreat caused many warriors to return home, but Chief Roundhead, War Chief Tecumseh, and many warriors aided the British in their retreat.
Along the Thames River in British Canada, the United States, under the command of General William Henry Harrison, caught the fleeing British. On October 5, 1813, War Chief Tecumseh and Chief Roundhead were both killed defending their allies, and the Native Confederation slowly died along with them.
Today, we remember War Chief Tecumseh and Chief Roundhead for their efforts to protect native villages, lands, people, and customs from the tsunami of the United States' western expansion. A tsunami of greed, hatred, violence that ultimately reached and deeply impacted every native nation in the United States.
Tijame. Thank you for joining us on our journey towards understanding. and share the untold stories of our ancestors. To discover more, visit any of the links below.